Kakadosh Bokeror. We're just going to continue with the halachot that we started yesterday to do with Rosh Hodesh that comes out on Friday. Are you allowed now to take a haircut or to shave on this Friday? So we do want to bring down that because of the Tosefet Simcha of Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh, there are some opinions that they bring down that you are allowed to come and to take a haircut, whether it's going to be the Bach, the Knesset Lula, Ulat Shabbat, Magen Avraham, Pri Chadash, Pekudat Elazar, Shulchan Aruch Harav. Now the question is, what about Sfaradim? So in the Kaf HaChaim, there's actually going to be a contradiction, or a machloket. What is the shita of the Kaf HaChaim? The Kaf HaChaim does bring down the seter, just like the Mishnah Brura, that he does say that you're allowed to. Why? Because it comes out of Shabbat and Erev Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh. So therefore, you're allowed to come and to cut your hair this Friday. However, the Rav Mazuz comes and he says that wasn't going in Shitat Maran, because later on, when he brought this down, he brings down that the Shita of Maran is always to do, right, the 33 days, even though there are those that argue what exactly was the Kavanah of the Kaf HaChaim or not. But the Kaf HaChaim later on is mashma, like the Bet Avi, that really, be'emet, you cannot be lenient, and therefore you cannot come and do it according to Shitat Maran. Now, therefore, you have a Kaf HaChaim that you've got a doubt which way to go. There are others, mifurash, that they do say in Shitat Maran, that it is going to be okay. There's an Igrot Moshe, and there's going to be others as well. However, though, right, to do with Rav Ovadia Yosef, it doesn't come out very, very clear. And the reason why is as follows. Rav Ovadia was once asked, what is Shitat, are we allowed to come and cut our hair on this Friday? And he brought down the Shitat Maran is that it's a sur. Rav Yitzchak Yosef came out with a very, very strong video this year, saying, bring down in the Bet Yosef, that he says that since it's a minhag ta'ut, anybody that's going to come and going to cut their hair, whether it's going to be for the Rosh Chodesh, so therefore he says they are relying upon, or they have the minhag always like Shitat Maran, and therefore it's going to be a sur. The only difference between the video of Rav Yitzchak Yosef this year and the Mayano man and the Yalkut Yosef is that when they asked Rav Ovadia Yosef, he said that technically Shitat Maran is that it's a sur. However, though, I'm not mochen somebody that does it. Meaning, if somebody's going to be lenient, I'm not going to scream at them. Right? Yalkut Yosef also brings down the same thing. He says, "Hamekel bazeh en limchot biyado." You should not rebuke them. However, though, in the video that he took out this year, he was very, very strong. Forget about rebuking. He says you have to tell them off, telling them that they're mateh tarabim and it's a ta'ut. It's a complete mistake in what they're doing. He was very, very strong with his words. However, though, if we're going to go and that we're not going to have that we do everything like Maran, which means because his main concept was that in Eretz Yisrael you always have to do like Maran, and therefore even though you do have some Sfaradim which are lenient, whether it's going to be the Pri Chadash, whether it's going to be Pekudat Elazar and others as well, right? He says that you have to be Machmir. However, though in Chutz La'aretz that we do not always have to follow Maran, so therefore what I always usually tell people is the Svara in Maran is 100% correct. Maran was always saying that you're always going to do 33 days straight, that you should not come and have your hair cut whatsoever. So it does make sense, and just some to find the kula or leniency in order to cut your hair, 100%. I understand that 100%. However, though, in time of extenuating circumstances or time of need, where a person really needed to do it for whatever reason it is, so therefore, obviously, they do have what to rely on if they are going to cut their hair this coming Friday, because again, as we already said, it wasn't only the Ashkenazim that hold this. Even a lot of people, some people say it's even in Maran. And the reason why he didn't bring it down was because he only brought down things which are very common, right? Whether it's going to be for a Brit Milah or other things. He says this case happens once every 4 years. So it's not such a common case. So since it's not so common, that's why he didn't bring it down. However, though, they do have what to rely on if they would do such a thing.